Hello everyone and welcome to this edition of Inside the Naval Postgraduate School. On the Pentagon Channel, I'm your host, Alan Richmond. Well, normally we come to you from the campus of the Naval Postgraduate School in Monterey, California, but as you often find the case, we're on the road, this time at the TNT exercise at Avon Park, Florida. And with me, our first guest of the show, under beautiful, hot, sunny skies, sorry for the shades, everybody, is NPS Professor Ray Bittner. Ray, welcome to the show and nice to be with you again on the road.
Thanks, Alan. Good to be back with the team and good to have you here in Avon Park, Florida with us again.
Now, we do this operation as a joint operation with SOCOM. How did that come about and how's the collaborative effort going with them?
Well, the collaborative effort with SOCOM began in about 2002, actually, with very small field experiments. We had a SOCOM student at the school working with a couple of professors, and they actually developed what today we would know as the rover system in the field. Basically, how do you bring video down so the soldier can tell what's going on around them instead of just the command post knowing what was going on around them. And that was very successful, and over the years, the Naval Postgraduate School and Special Operations Command have developed a very tight relationship, not just in experimentation, but also in academics. In fact, SOCOM's current commander, Admiral McRaven, was the first Special Operations Low-Intensity Conflict student at the Naval Postgraduate School and actually helped start that program. His thesis is still pretty widely read, too. He did a theory of special operations, or the theory, I should say, of special operations. So the Admiral's there at the helm at SOCOM, and the relationship with NPS is still going strong academically and out here in the experimentation venue. You know, we do 4 of these events a year, 50 to 60 experiments that are planned and conducted, and 500 to 800 people that are out every time. One of the most powerful things about these particular events is this is exploration and discovery, which is why NPS is such a natural partner for SOCOM. They're here to learn about things, not necessarily buy things. What they learn may help them think about what to buy down the road. But this is not an acquisition event. This is a learning event, and people are allowed to come out and try things that don't work, and they get feedback from the soldiers that help them make it work. We see companies collaborating out here. Right now Boeing is working with our vision, and they're sharing information, they're sharing products, all about helping the soldiers learn more. We have a couple NPS students running around out here as well that are doing work, a continuation of work that was started by 2 of our majors 2 years ago, focused on light attack and the rapid air mobility platforms. We have a student running around looking at the different sensor packages that would go with these light, almost commercial off-the-shelf aircraft that can augment our special operations forces. So as usual, very dynamic, very active event, and a very tight marriage with SOCOM and NPS.
And the important thing always, and I always enjoy going on the road on these with you, is the fact that it's in direct support of the warfighter. And nobody seems to ever lose sight of that fact. We're here, it's not a showcase. It really is hard work to turn this technology back over to the frontline folks.
Absolutely, absolutely. We have success stories where technology is proposed out here, goes through the process, and it winds up on the shelf working with the warfighter. If you recall, a while back we had talked a little bit about a special SIGINT capable Scan Eagle aircraft, and I know the Inside NPS has done shows on the Scan Eagle and that aircraft and its capabilities. And Navy Special Warfare, one of the SOCOM's components, has the capability that was developed in 9 months, 3 TNTs, boom, out to the warfighter and ready to go. So we're very happy that happens both as citizens, and then of course the mission of the postgraduate school being to enhance the effectiveness of the warfighter. It's a very direct connection.
The other thing that you say many times out here is failure is an acceptable outcome. And I guess that really is the important thing of taking the technology and the collaborative efforts and pushing it to the limit so we get there in a hurry to get that product out to the folks.
Absolutely. You've got to try it, and you've got to be open and share information about your failures for us to be able to learn and move things forward fast. Environments in which companies or organizations want to hide their failures and hide their problems could be very dangerous if something slips through the system and winds up on the battlefield that's not fully vetted. Out here, companies know there's no penalty for them trying something and finding out it doesn't work. Soldiers can suggest things that they're not sure what the outcome's going to be. Exploration discovery is kind of why we use the term experiment when we talk about what we do out here.
And so overall, what's the most important takeaway for you in getting the TNT events put together? What do you come away? It must be really gratifying professionally and personally.
It is. Myself, my team, I have a couple of research associates that help me put these events on at the school, and then our students participate. And to be able to be engaged at this level of interaction and to know that there's a direct output that will help our warfighters on the battlefield is extremely gratifying, and I'm always delighted to be part of this.
Stay with us for more on Inside NPS from Avon Park, Florida, here on the Pentagon Channel. Well, welcome back to more here on the Pentagon Channel on Inside NPS from Avon Park, Florida. We're out and doing some field experimentation, and with us is Mark Harris. Mark, tell us a little bit about your company and what your role out here in TNT is.
Well, we have a UAV system that I've merged my company with UA Vision, and Builders Development Group is an entity that we're trying to put together a disaster relief process that's going to revolutionize the way we track, do products, put them into a warfighter or a bad environment to where we can track and assess damages right from the get-go with RFID technologies.
Now, this product that you have, it's behind us here, and we're going to take a closer look at it. But describe it for us and tell us how it was developed and what the capabilities are.
What we found was Don, the founder of UA Vision. He was a 20-year veteran in the Navy as a pilot. He come out. He is a current pilot for AFRL in Dayton at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. He flies a lot of other people's planes, and he decided that it was time to develop something that was going to change the format of how people see it. Instead of search and destroy, search and rescue, and how could we come up with a plane that would do a lot of information collecting and data right away without any hard takeoffs, landings. So he developed a plane that basically weighs less than 4 pounds, flies in high winds, up to 40-mile-an-hour winds, flies at high altitudes, has full data streams, and my company and his merged RFID technology into his aircraft. So we're doing reader-writers from the plane, putting tags on the ground that can track and be a portal, basically, for information and data on the ground. Can take pulses off of a warfighter out in the field, tell where he's at, give a GPS coordinate, do all that kind of data stream right from an RFID tag. Surplus inventory control for disaster relief, drop off a pot of saline solution or something that may have a perishable date. Our tags are active. You can program them. You know what that perishable date is. You know what skid to open first when you're in a hostile environment, or if you're in Haiti in a disaster situation and you're trying to track this, along with developing a cloud with a 3G solar network that we can basically go out, drop off products, and now UN shows up, Red Cross shows up, SOCOM shows up, whoever shows up. Most of them don't talk between each other. They all have their own format, their own platform, their own supplies. Now, we want to build a center of excellence in disaster relief surplus and supply to where we tag all RFID supplies, and then when they show up, they download our app from the cloud. We can tell you if the UN's got 500 cases of water, the saline solution's over here, and everybody has a portal so they can work together.
So it really is a lot of what TNT in the field is a collaborative nature. So that's happened already, but you continue to collaborate with everybody that's here on this field training exercise.
What was interesting is when I met Dr. Bittner out at Camp Roberts here this last November, we participated in TNT. From that, we have experimented. We did over 96 ad hoc experiments with companies that we would have never met if it didn't happen for this event. And through that process, we were able, in between the times between TNT events, to collaborate, solve, put together the products, bring them back out here in the testing ground so everybody can see the wares of what actually happens at a TNT event.
And NPS has been a long time involved with disaster relief around the world, and as you mentioned, Ray Bittner, who we'll be talking to, is a great champion of testing this stuff in the field, and it's a great partnership with SOCOM. We really reach a lot of people, don't we?
Absolutely. Without this venue, you wouldn't have collaborations. I wouldn't have access to Boeing or Lockheed Martin or certain players that are just normally inaccessible from an entrepreneurial for a small company to be in their venue. And so now we bring a technology that they weren't quite thinking of, and because they're a big spectrum player versus a small guy focused on something dramatic, they see the application. So we were able to contact into mesh networks, all types of things that we wouldn't normally have access to that technology. We know it exists, we know our technology will work with it, but now we get to test, play it, and work it. And it's really a great way of doing business.
Well, that's what happens with this field testing from Avon Park. Let's go flying. Well, that's it for this edition of Inside the Naval Postgraduate School from the TNT in Avon Park, Florida. I'm your host, Alan Richmond, here on the Pentagon Channel. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.